How's it going, everybody? My name is Cooney, and today I'll be talking to you about texting while driving in America. What I would like to start off with is just basically pointing out what I want to deliver to you today. I want to point out the severe consequences of what can happen while texting and driving, and the injuries that can be caused while doing so. Something else I would like to point out is 1 out of every 4 car crashes involve texting while driving. That is on a career standpoint, and I would like to point out that what we can do as a community, what we can do as a class even, is just try to eliminate these causes by going down the line, giving you the facts, and just pointing out everything that needs to happen. Imagine waking up in a hospital bed, not knowing where you are, mind blurry, family beside you, and the reason why you're there is because of a severe car crash that was caused by texting while driving. This can't even just be you in the standpoint, it's someone around you that could hit you possibly. Phones have been a blessing and a curse, and we need to figure out how to put them down while at the wheel, because these phones were invented for a reason, and we are not using them as they were intended to, if that is the case. This generation is addicted to their phones. It's not necessarily something that's a secret. However, we need to figure out how to put these phones down again. Based on how this generation's used them, we use them more as a need than a want. So we need to figure out how to more use them we use them more as a want than a need, I'm sorry. So we need to figure out how to figure this out and how to use them as they're intended, which is a need. I also have a few close friends and family members in my life that have been hit because of people texting while driving. They have been hospitalized, they have been injured, none dead luckily. However, this is something close to me and that I want to talk about to spread the awareness that is going on. What I also want to point out is this is the leading go-getter in car crashes per year on a how the car crashes happen perspective, with 1.6 million injuries a year. 330 people have been injured in the past year, and then 11 people averagely die a day because of texting while driving. So I want to provide those numbers to you and give incentive on how we can fix this. The first main topic I'd like to discuss is why we think these phones are godsends. More along the lines of why our generation is addicted to these phones. I want to start off with the facts. 96% of Americans own a cell phone of some kind, and 81% of those are smartphones. The average American will spend 5.4 hours a day on their phone. There's a margin of Americans that will spend sometimes even 12 hours a day of your phone. So imagine spending half of your day on your cell phone, whatever it may be, even if browsing on the internet, texting, whatever it may be, that is half your day spent on that little device. Texting is more of a teen epidemic, which means that you're going to see more teenagers using it. That being said, adults are still texting while driving too. We need to learn how to put down our phones regardless. However, this is more kind of branched towards a teenage line, so we need to take a look at that especially. Teenagers are addicted to social media and will do anything to be on their phone regardless of if they're driving or trying to keep up to date with everything going on. Now, teens have an addiction to social media, and that can be caused because of low self-esteem from social anxiety, which makes teenagers feel obligated to be on their phones. It's just basically an escape from reality. That's why they're always on their phones. Most people who have this addiction to their phone will not admit it, of course, because it would be an addiction. And 4 out of 5 people think that their personal phone usage is below the actual national rate, which is not the case whatsoever. People are going to keep using those phones, and people are going to think that they are below the average rate of how you can use those. Now, on my second topic, I want to talk about the consequences that have occurred and what type of events, rules, laws have been made because of texting while driving. There has been increased rate in car crashes, injuries, deaths, all while occurring from texting and driving. Now, I already talked to you about the 1.6 million injuries that have happened. However, studies have also shown that 660 people tend to use their phone every day while driving, which is absurd because with all the people that live in America, 660,000 people isn't that much. That number sounds ginormous, however. So what we need to do is figure out ways to, of course, influence people to quit using their cellular devices while driving. And that also means that with those 660,000 people every day that are using their phones, that means that number of lives times whatever it may be people you see on the road That's how many lives are affected every day and can get injured, can get in car crashes, could potentially die even. So we need to figure out something on what to do there. Texting while driving has also led to several rule changes when it comes to driving to ensure that safety standards are met. Absolutely needs to happen. Due to constant amount of injuries while driving, most can assume that texting while driving is the leading cause for this. So 49 states have made law banning texting while driving or using your cellular device at the wheel, which is great, and we need to keep influencing this and keep getting this message across. So the fact that people are actually banning the use of phones at the wheel is phenomenal, and we need to keep going about this. 44 out of the 49 states have made texting while driving a primary offense to ensure that safety of everyone is at hand, which is exactly what people need too, because this being a primary offense means that this can actually lead to potential actual homicide too while hitting someone at the wheel. So texting while driving is a federal offense and needs to be taken quite literally, and things need to happen, consequences need to happen with that being said. 21 states prohibit people from picking up their phone at the wheel to make sure that the urge of even looking at their phones is taken away, which is another great thing to actually happen. If someone picks up their phone, even if they're not texting while driving, changing a song on Spotify even, that is an offense and needs to be needs to be action taken. Now, on my third main point, there are so many ways to spread awareness to get people off their phones to keep their eyes on the road. There are methods that I would use is one, turning off your phone or turning it on silent, which is the most effective method of actually keeping your eyes on the road. You're not going to hear any buzzing. You're not going to hear any notifications that'll keep your eyes on that phone. It takes everything away from that, which is exactly what we need. Something else I would like to point out is if you must make a call or text, pull over. If you need to make that text, if it is so dire that you need to pick up your phone, pull over, and then you'll be able to make that call or text. You're not putting anyone at risk of being injured, harming them, or so on and so forth. You're giving yourself the common courtesy of pulling over and keeping your life in safe hands, while also keeping everyone else on the road's life in safe hands. So that's exactly what needs to happen. Make sure younger people are in the loop when it comes to driving. Make sure they know the benefits of keeping their phone down while driving, and spreading the word will even save lives on its own. So making sure that cousins, family members, friends, making sure that they know that they need to keep their phones down while at the wheel. Just even saying something is one step ahead of the game. So making sure that people are kept in the loop when it comes to that is the best case scenario. So making sure getting everything across, getting the message out there, that's all will actually start saving lives right there, because you're making sure that people are aware of what's going on. Now, in conclusion, what I'd like to bring out today I just wanted to go over that I informed you about the potential horrors of texting while driving in America. I hope after this is all done, I hope that you're able to go out and tell people about texting while driving. I hope you are informed about texting while driving in the sense of you harming people or other people being harmed, and have a better understanding of why it's so important to keep that phone down, consequences that can come behind texting while driving. Now that you do have a general understanding, I urge everyone to keep their phone down while driving, of course. It keeps people's lives out of harm. It keeps your life safe, and it keeps everyone around you happy, healthy, and it just will not lead to any injuries, deaths, so on and so forth. This will keep everyone on the road safe and secure, and I appreciate you folks listening to my speech today. My name is Cooney again, and thank you for your time.